Okay, my dear student, physics first paper, chapter number 2, vector. My today's topic is scalar product. Scalar product. Okay, my dear student, from a previous discussion, you already know that if a vector A and a vector B, if you want to do a multiply them in a scalar product, then you can say that A dot B will equal to AB cos theta. I repeat, my dear student, A dot B will equal to AB cos theta. So here, theta is the angle between them. Now, in my today's class, I'm going to find out some very basic problems about this scalar product. Suppose, my dear student, we know that in Cartesian coordinate system, in the case of rectangular unit vector along x-axis, unit vector I hat is acting along x-axis, along y-axis, unit vector j hat is acting along y-axis, and you already know that along z-axis, vector k hat is acting along z-axis. Okay. Now, my dear student, if I'm going to solve some mathematical problem just like this, if I want to multiply I hat dot I hat, then let's see what will happen here. My dear student, my first question is I'm going to solve here I hat dot I hat. Okay, let's see what will be the output. If A dot B will equal to AB cos theta. I repeat, my dear student, if A dot B will equal to AB cos theta, then definitely I hat dot I hat will equal to what? It will equal to here I hat, then I hat, okay, AB having cos theta, having cos theta. Now, I hat is a vector. Also, I hat is another vector. And these two vectors acting along which axis? Along x-axis. Since these two vectors acting along x-axis, that's why, can you say this? The angle theta will equal to 0 degree, my dear student. Can you say this? In this particular case, the angle you obtain here, it will equal to what? It will equal to 0 degree. So the angle between two same vector will equal to what? It will equal to 0 degree. Now, I hat is a unit vector, my dear student. What is I hat? I hat is a unit vector. Since I hat is a unit vector, so it has a magnitude is 1 unit. You can say that in the place of I hat, it will equal to 1. And also, you can say that in the place of next I hat, it is also equal to 1. My dear student, it is also equal to 1 multiplied by cos theta. Now, what is the value of cos theta? So, cos, this will equal to cos 0 degree, my dear student. So, cos 0 equal to 1 also. So, you can write down here, this is 1 into what? Into 1. So, you can say that, sir, I hat dot I hat will equal to 1. So, from this statement, you can say that here, I hat dot I hat will equal to 1. If I hat dot I hat will equal to 1, then write down here similarly j hat dot j hat will equal to 1, and then k hat dot k hat will equal to also 1. So we can write down here this is j hat dot j hat, it will equal to 1, and this will equal to also k hat dot k hat. Okay, so this will equal to 1. So we can say that the dot product of two same vector will equal to 1. So what's the statement here? The dot product of two same unit vector will equal to 1, equal to 1 unit. Now, my dear student, now if you want to know that, sir, if you want to solve I hat dot j hat, then what is happening here? Then what would be the magnitude of this dot product? Suppose you are going to solve here, you are going to find out here I hat dot j hat. You see that I hat is acting along x-axis, j hat is acting along y-axis. So what is the angle between this x-axis and y-axis, my dear student? What is the angle between x-axis and y-axis?
90 degree.
The angle between x-axis and y-axis will equal to what? It will equal to here 90 degree. Okay. So since it will equal to 90 degree, my dear student, since it will equal to what? It will equal to 90 degree. Okay. So we can say that here I hat having modulus sign and then j hat having modulus sign multiplied by cos theta will equal to 90 degree. So I hat equal to 1, j hat equal to 1, and cos 90 will equal to 0, my dear student. So it will equal to 0. So finally we can say that here I hat dot j hat, this is nothing but will equal to 0. So the dot product of two different vector, my dear student, the dot product of two different vector will equal to 0. Okay, having angle 90 degree. So you can say that here. Similarly, I hat dot j hat will equal to j hat dot k hat will equal to k hat dot I hat similarly will equal to 0. So this is a formula. Okay, my dear students, this is another formula. These are the very important formula for your basic knowledge. Okay, for to develop your basic knowledge. Okay, these are the very important formula. Now, my dear student, in third step, if I want to find out, if I want to know, if I want to multiply vector P with vector P in a scalar product, then let's see what is the output here. My dear student, I'm going to multiply vector P dot vector P. My dear student, vector P dot vector P. So, then what's the output here? Now, vector P will equal to magnitude of P multiply with magnitude of P. And then what is the angle in between to same vector P? My dear student, what is the angle between to same vector P?
0 degree.
The angle between two same vector P will equal to what? It will equal to here 0 degree, my dear student. So this is 1 into 1. No, this is not 1. This is P. This is P square into 1. So this is nothing but what? Nothing but P square. So you can say that the dot product of two same vector, the dot product of two same vector will equal to what? Will equal to magnitude square of that vector. Will equal to what? Magnitude square of that particular vector. Okay. Now, suppose you have to find out, sir, this is P square. So what would be the output of this P square? Okay, my dear student. Now vector P whole square. Okay. So what would be the output of this vector P whole square? You see that if vector P whole square there, my dear student, if vector P whole square there, okay, then obviously vector P whole square equal to vector P dot vector P, my dear student. Vector P whole square will equal to what? Vector P dot vector P. Okay. Since it is vector P dot vector P, so vector P dot vector P equal to P square. My dear student, vector P dot vector P equal to what? P equal to P square. Okay. So this is another very important quiz type question for scalar product. Okay. For what? Scalar product. Okay. Now, on the basis of this basic knowledge, I'm going to solve some quiz type question. Okay. Now let's see what would be that particular question. My dear student, if I am to find out I hat to the power 12, can you find out what's the value of I hat to the power 12, my dear student? I hat to the power 12. I'm going to know this. So give me some idea, my dear student. How can I solve this quick step problem? Yesha, give me some idea. How can I solve this question, Yesha?
Yes, sir.
How can I solve it? I hat to the power 12.
So I had to the power 12.
Okay, please
So
try to
আপনি
solve.
বলে দেন স্যার।
Okay, please try to solve this question, my dear student. আদান দিচ্ছে আদানটা শেষ হলে আবার স্টার্ট করবো ইনশাআল্লাহ। তোমরা একটু ট্রাই করে সলভ করার জন্য এটা।
সে তো 1ই আসবে তো। Okay, my dear student. Now, I hat to the power 12. Okay. I'm going to find out the value of I hat to the power 12. Now, let's see how can I solve this. Suppose, my dear student, if I'm going to write down here, this is I hat whole square and whole to the power 6. Okay. My dear student, can I write down this? This is I hat whole square. Okay. If I write down this, then there is the change of value of I to the power 12 and I hat to the power 2 whole to the power 6. Okay. Now, my dear student, then I'm going to find out what is the value of this I square. You see that I square is what? Vector I hat dot I hat. And I hat dot I hat will equal to 1. So, you can write down here, this is I hat dot this is I hat and whole to the power 6, my dear student. And I hat dot I hat will equal to 1 and 1 to the power 6. This is nothing but 1. So you can say that I hat to the power 12 is nothing but what, my dear student? It's nothing but 1. Anyone, my dear student, any question about this I hat to the power 12? My dear student, any question here about this I hat to the power 12?
Sir, আগের থেকে একটা কোয়েশ্চেন ছিল যে the
Okay.
angle between I hat and Z hat তো 90 ডিগ্রি না, তাহলে এটা 0 কিভাবে হবে?
আবার একটু
Scalar
বলবে
product
কি?
of
Can
I
you
hat.
repeat your question?
Sir, the scalar product of I hat and Z hat ওটা 0 কিভাবে হবে? কারণ
Okay,
angle between the 90 ডিগ্রি না।
okay, very good, very good. You see that the angle between x-axis and y-axis is 90 degree. The angle between y-axis and z-axis is also 90 degree. And the angle between z-axis and x-axis, okay, is also 90 degree. This just like a 3D structure, my dear student. This looks just like a 3D structure, okay? This just like a 3D structure. So each and every side can make an angle with each other 90 degree. Just compare at the end of a room, okay? Just at the end of the room, okay? You see that there are 3 axes there. One is x-axis, another is y-axis, and last one is z-axis, okay? So these 3 axes can make an angle 90 degree with each other, okay? Now, can you understand this? This
স্যার
is the,
স্যার স্যার একটা কোশ্চেন আচ্ছা স্যার
yes,
এটা 3 ডাইমেনশনাল যেহেতু তাহলে স্যার মাঝখানে স্যার 360 ডিগ্রি হওয়ার কথা না
okay, this is 3D structure. So this is not a 3D sphere, okay? This is a 3D structure. It's not a spherical body, okay? And a sphere makes an angle 360 at its center. But this is a 3D structure, normal 3D structure, okay? You just compare here just this pattern. This is x-axis, this is y-axis, okay? This is 90 degree, okay? If you want to draw a z-axis, so this one is also 90 degree and this one is also 90 degree, okay? So pattern is just like this. Okay, my dear student? So can you understand this point? My dear student, do you understand this point?
জি স্যার
Okay.
জি
Now,
স্যার
now I to the power 12 will equal to 1. About this question, have any confusion, my dear student? I to the power 12 equal to 1. About this topic, any question here, my dear student? Any one of you? Any question here? Okay. So if you have no question, then if I want to find out here, my dear student, I had to the power 900. Okay. So find out what's the value of this I had to the power 900 function. Now I just to find out what's the value of this I had to the power 900.
ওয়ানই তো হবে
It will
তবে
equal
তো
to
1 হবে না স্যার
it will equal to what?
ওয়ান
1. Very good. Very good. It will equal to 1. But let's see how
অড হলে
it will equal to 1. So this is I had, suppose, square and whole to the power what? 450. It will equal to 1 to the power 450 will equal to 1. Very good. And next question is arised here. Sir, if the power is odd, then what will be the output? So let's see, my dear student, if the power is odd, then what would be the output? Suppose I had to the power 5. So if it is I had to the power 5, then let's see what would be the output here. You see that I can write down this number just like this pattern, okay? I had to the power 4 multiplied with I hat. My dear student, I had to the power 4 multiplied with what? With I hat, okay? So since it is I had to the power 4 multiplied with I hat, so you see that this even function will gives you a result that is 1, okay? 1 into I hat will equal to what? Will equal to nothing but I hat. So in a conclusion part, you can say that if the power is even, it will equal to 1, okay? And if the power is odd, my dear student, then it will equal to I hat. So this is the output, and these two are the very important quiz step question. Okay, my dear student, these two are the what? These two are the very important quiz step question, okay? Now, my dear student, my next question. I'm just going to find out what would be the output of dot product about two 3D vector. Suppose, for example, if A is a 3D vector and if B is also a 3D vector, then I'm just going to find out their dot product. So if I want to find out here A dot B, then let's see what would be the output here. What would be the product of this A dot B? Okay. Now I have to find out their dot product. Suppose, by the student, A equal to suppose x I hat
plus ayj hat plus azk hat. And again, vector b will equal to what? Will equal to bxi hat plus byj hat plus bzk hat. Now, from this a and b, I'm going to find out here a dot b. My dear student, from this a and b, I'm going to find out a dot b. So, vector a dot vector b. At first, write down the values of a. This is ax I hat plus ay j hat plus az k hat. My dear student, to solve this, you have to have huge patience. Okay, so it's a very complex calculation, the very complex mathematical analysis. Okay, so here b equal to bxi hat plus this is byj hat plus this is bz k hat. My dear student, this bz k hat. Now I'm going to multiply this to function normally. Okay, just like this. This function has two parts. One is magnitude part, another is direction part. So magnitude part multiplied with the magnitude part, and then direction part here multiplied with the direction part. Just like this pattern. Suppose ax multiplied with bx, my dear student. So this is I hat dot this is I hat. So scalar things, scalar quantities multiply with here scalar quantities, and then vector quantities multiply with here vector quantities. Okay. Then plus this is ax by, ax then by will equal to I hat dot j hat. Plus with that, my dear student, ax then bz. Okay, so I hat dot k hat, my dear student. Now, for the case of ay dot bx, j hat dot I hat plus ay by. So ay then by. This is j hat dot j hat, my dear student, plus ay bz. So this is j hat dot k hat. Now, my dear student, the rest one is az. Okay, since the rest one is az, so we can say that az bx k hat dot I hat plus az by will equal to k hat dot j hat plus az bz. Okay, so this is k hat dot k hat. Okay, now in the case of dot product, my dear student, the product of two dissimilar unit vector will equal to 0. I repeat, my dear student, in the case of dot product, the product of two dissimilar unit vector will equal to 0, but the product of two similar vector will equal to 1. My dear student, the product of two similar unit vector will equal to 1. Such as here, I hat dot I hat will gives you 1. Okay, and rest one is 0 in first line. And then you see that here, j hat dot j hat will gives you 1. And the last one is here, k hat dot k hat will also gives you what? 1. And rest 1 or rest things remain 0. My dear student, other thing remain here 0. So the first one is here, ax bx plus it is ay by. Okay, plus it is az bz. Okay, so these are the answer, my dear student. So this is the answer. So if vector a is given, if vector b is given, and then you want to find out their dot product, my dear student, then you want to find out the dot product. Okay, so things is here, how can you find out the dot product? So things is very simple, that is just ax bx plus ay by plus here az bz. Okay, this will be the
scalar product. Okay, now on the basis of this theory, I'm going to solve a mathematical problem, my dear student. Suppose vector A equal to 2i hat plus 3j hat plus 4k hat, and vector B equal to minus I hat plus 5j hat plus 7k hat. Then find out vector A dot vector B, my dear student. Then find out vector A dot vector B. I'm going to find out the dot product. Okay, so let's see what's the dot product of vector A and vector B, my dear student. Vector A dot vector B will equal to what? First, the general formula. The general formula is here: ax bx plus ay by plus az bz. So this is the general formula. Okay, now if we apply this general formula, then this is ax bx plus this is ay by plus this is what? This is az bz. Now, my dear student, ax equal to what? X is the coefficient of I hat, multiplier of I hat. This is 2 into bx, multiplier of I hat in the case of B. So, my dear student, what's the multiplier of I hat in the case of B? So, it will equal to minus 1, my dear student. It will equal to minus 1, okay? So, since it will equal to minus 1, so multiply with minus 1 plus 3 into 5 plus 4 into 7. So minus 2 plus 15 plus 28. Now, my dear student, what is the output of here A dot B? Find out this, my dear student.
Sir, 41.
So it will equal to 41 unit. Okay. Now, let us solve another question, my dear student. Suppose vector A equal to 5i hat plus 8j hat plus 9k hat, and then vector B equal to 2i hat minus 12j hat plus 20k hat. And to find out here vector A dot vector B, my dear student, try to find out this. What's the value of here A dot B? Now find out this, my dear student. What's the value of here A dot B? I'll give you 2 minute time, my dear student, to solve this. Okay, my dear student, now find out what's the value of this A dot B.
Sir, 94.
So this will equal to 94. Is it correct, my dear student? Is it correct? It will equal to 94.
Yes, sir.